Hey, how's it going? Today's Friday, 29th of December. We are taking a look at different facilities available. I have covered a number of those and I have shared my decision making behind, I guess, choosing one facility over another, right? For time being, might be the best use of my time in taking a look at some of the hardware and some of the recent investments made within Cambridge or Bristol area, as well as finances, perhaps that, or insurance other services might be in London, right? And from there, most likely I'm going to be progressing into pools of expertise and where most likely I will be able to source perhaps even the people might be hard to think as I go along. But within today's video, let's take a look at facilities, right? I have touched on a number of those within Bristol. And within this video, I'm going to be taking a look at national and nuclear user facilities. And let's try to understand a little bit better what this organization is all about. I'm reading this information, as I said. I'm not supported by anything I'm reading this time. So it might be great. I don't know how any business would be able to have access to some of those facilities. I think some of those facilities been established there. So since those facilities have there, what would be the process? It's something I myself I'm trying to understand every single time, right? If gaining access to some of those facilities, so what would the process, right? Not necessarily limited to myself, perhaps other businesses out there might be interested in having a similar access or know that environment perhaps something. Then we're taking a look at operational cost, and it might be expensive setting up a number of those facilities instead of perhaps number of businesses sharing facilities. I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna work, right? Sometimes it's not necessarily would work, right? So I'm taking a look at this organization's website, and if anything, I need to establish point of contact, and if there is facility within Bristol area, and if there is, I need to perhaps sit down and have a chat with the person. Well, I'm serious. I don't know. I'm not looking to come in and make a mess of a person and or break things, right? So perhaps that would be reasons why not other business might not be able to access those facilities. That's my thinking coming into this, right? Let's try to understand a little bit better. There is a map on the organization's website, and I can understand they have a number of those facilities. I would expect to have more of those facilities within the north for whatever reason. I thought there would be more related to perhaps energy production. That's how my mindset coming into this, and taking a look at robotics and perhaps outsourcing some of the tasks within energy production into robotics coming into this, right? And so I was expecting more to the north, I guess. But it's there seems to have four facilities, right? And we take a look at. People can see it, but perhaps for those who cannot see it, within the Bristol, right? So if I were to start with the Bristol and from there I would might be progressing into others as well, right? So University of Bristol, okay. So perhaps I need to check university to have access to those facilities, and we're taking like UAVs as well as mobile ground vehicles and test deployments, right? And what were the process of working together? University of Bristol facility will provide substantial space for developing mobile robotic applications and enhancing tools for environmental field surveying. Its main capabilities will focus on UAVs and mobile ground vehicles, and it offers 245 acres of space for a test deployment. I think this particular part has been called sandboxes, right? And if you were to work with the software, not necessarily that much with the hardware, you might be interested in testing your software. And within different concepts, that might be considered a sandbox. So if you got a sandbox, great, because the process can look like reaching out to a civil aviation authority and having access to airspace within that area. But I'll try doing it and see what the process can look like, right? But working with the people and as we speak, it's very hard thing to do. So that potentially how I could work. And if they have that facility actually available, that would be great. I don't know if I'll be able to access it. That's a different reason, but at least they have it, right? There is some information potentially available there. how people can. Myself, I'm looking for facilities right now, but there might be some funding available as well, and there might be a process of how people can receive funding in solving some of those problems, right? Of the process might be very costly. I don't know if when I say funding, not necessarily how money will exchange hands, right? You might be able to receive credits. The credits might be used to pay for services. So I don't know if that's considered funding, right? But if there's gonna be any funding, great. But most likely there won't be any money changing hands other than facilities on there, and credit will be received, and you potentially use those credits to pay for services. That's my understanding, and there's potentially dates, but it might be already over. But if not, I'll try to reach out to some of the teams and see what the process of working together, right? If you are interested, there's I'm coming from more of the Bristol area, but there's Manchester as well, and other areas as well within UK, right? Okay, so I think I'm on to something, and I'm taking a look at how to gain access. They might have a process in place of how to gain access, right? If anything, it's just perhaps limiting factors. Again, I don't think there is more than 20 businesses who are looking to gain access in the first place. And it seems that the scheme has now been closed, but at least they have process in place, right? So potentially yourself, if you're interested in gaining access, that would be a process there. And if there's a process, there might be a team. The team might be busy. It depends who the team communicating with, right? And or person might be tired within the team. It depends. So I hope not. So I'll see the process and if I can fill in any of the information, and or if then it's gonna be open, right? I can briefly touch on some of the management, right? But I guess coming into this, my own personal understanding, right? So there seems to be a number of professors or professionals within different areas, right? Perhaps within their core competences and expertise within different fields, right? It could be, we're talking about perhaps decades, right? Perhaps my expectations coming into this, right? And within this organization, they got one, two, three, four, five professionals, right? But different organizations might have another five or another five and another five or so, right, within the UK. And sometimes I don't know how how many one of those people, how many you can always see perhaps another 10 mentees or students, right? So perhaps perhaps that's how my understanding might be, and they might open it so people can sign in and taking part and or receiving some of their expertise, and part of receiving expertise would be receiving access to those facilities, and that person he would need to oversee those 10 businesses, but those 10 businesses can be all over the place, right? So it can be very challenging. So what I'm saying, I understand that it can be very hard, but there's just one organization, right? So it's good that there's organizations like that exist. But I have covered a number of those organizations already, and some say not necessarily have that many people. Some say I might have one person who would need to oversee a number of businesses and trying to make sure no one will get in trouble like this. Yourself, if you're interested in learning more, work could be a better place than establishing routines and or having those habits that you get work towards achieving your targets that you set for yourself every single day. I think it's very valuable tool to have inflow within this journal. I'm taking a look at how to establish habits, how to work, and or the use time, right? That would be 70 days would be a sweet spot. 90 days would be how much, oh, slightly over what would be required of you of establishing a habit, the habit that will last, right? As well as within every page, I'm going to be taking a look at 24-hour windows and what would be required for people to achieve every single day. So every day, there's a set things that many people should focus on every single day, and best of the knowledge sticking with the program, right? You can find it, the QR code in the corner, organization's website below. It might be worth taking a look at. I was taking a look at news and everything what's happening with this organization. I was thinking about finishing on a high note, right? So it would be something to think about, I guess, for many people out there. It would be some of the things that are happening, and there's a registration open. We are warmly invite you to join us in person at the latest NNUF symposium. This will be a great opportunity to celebrate our collective growth and knowledge we have gained since 2019 as a community. Oh, okay, okay. So it might be important. I don't know. It might be great. I don't know. It'll be a good experience. They might have some sandwiches, coffee. I don't know. It might be a great experience. I don't know. It's a full day event or so. So if people are interested, there's something happening in the 2nd of February 2024. I would highly recommend it and checking it out if it's something you're interested in getting involved. I'm looking for people who want to do it. So, if you're a person who want to do something, feel free to reach out to me. And this organization is organizing and collaborating with its community as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.